Good evening and welcome to Travel 10. And I got sitting next to me, of course, our VP of Operations, Joe Seaforth, my nephew, and we've got some pretty good stuff to share with everybody tonight. We're going to go first, we're going to do some news and updates, which Joey's going to cover with, for everybody. Obviously, tonight we've got something kind of different. We're doing a contest. It's going to be kind of fun, and this is something we're going to be doing every week. And so we're going to have our first official drawing tonight. The first winners for both testimonials and obviously for business building. So we'll be doing that. Before I get into actually doing the winnings from the contest, we're going to do a little training segment. And then, of course, I'll close, as I always do, with a section on creating wealth. So with that, let's get started, man.
Yeah,
we got some updates. So what have you got to share with everybody?
A little house cleaning, give everyone some news and updates here, as we always do. As you all might have seen, we did have our first commission run this past week.
History, guys. First one. There'll never be another first one.
It was a short month, but, because of the launch. But hey, we got it out. Everything looked good. There's not a lot to it, so it's a pretty quick run. There's not a lot of reviewing or anything like that.
And remember too, a lot of you came over. People came from Good Life, initially, and so a lot of you are not subscribers here. You're subscribers in Good Life. So obviously commissions are based on subscriptions. So, and since we have this period of, 60 days where you can qualify. So, a lot of you are automatically qualified no matter what to receive checks. Now, again, after that 60-day period, you have to have the 2 customers to qualify, but that's going to be pretty easy to do based on what I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's
really easy to do.
And some of you already, because you had organizations that came over from Good Life as well, some pretty good checks for the first run.
Actually kind of surprising, really.
For half a month, it's not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
But you will notice that we did not do this run through HyperWallet, which obviously HyperWallet is a mandatory option, or not an option, but mandatory payout option there. But we had to do these through paper checks on this first run. So everybody that did actually receive commissions that were over $12, they will be receiving a paper check in the mail. That's just for this first run.
But that's kind of cool, because it's the only time we're ever going to do this. But it's like, again, it's a little bit of history, so it's one of those checks you might want to just hang on to, unless it's too much. That's right. You might want to cash it, but you always make a copy of it. But it is the first and only one that'll be done like that.
We wanted to make sure we got this thing up and running as quick as possible for you guys. We didn't want to delay anything. We didn't want to wait till the 10th or something like that to get HyperWallet set up. But you will have HyperWallet set up for the next commission run. That's the great thing. What we decided to do, though, because it's not fully implemented yet, you can't use HyperWallet to its fullest. We're not going to charge anybody that enrolled back in August that monthly fee for September. Okay. So it's kind of a nice way to say, hey, you came in then, you paid your setup fees. Setup fees you have to pay because it goes for the Visa card that you get, the account setup. It's just a hard cost that you have to pay on those. But we're not going to charge you for that monthly if you didn't actually have the ability to take advantage of that wallet and get paid out. But
so that's been waived, right? So
it is being waived for this month. Okay. So you'll see those charges. I think it's $1.89. They'll start hitting next month.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but hey, it's something. Saved you a few dollars.
It is. And anybody that had a check that was under $12 and they didn't get it, they're going to get it. They're going to get it immediately on the next one. Yeah,
because remember, going forward, once we're on HyperWallet, if the check is 50 cents, we're able to pay it. You can't do that when we're doing paper checks this time because the cost is just prohibitive. So that's why, again, if your check was less than $12, it did roll over into this next month. But most of you, it didn't affect you.
So obviously we've started our testimonials as well. We have a couple boxes here for our contest today, but testimonials are up on the homepage now. So if you actually go to the landing page, you scroll to the bottom, you'll see a little button that says click here to view some experiences from the field. And you'll be able to see everybody that's actually submitted a testimonial and some of the savings that they have had. You can show your prospects or your guests those as well, and it really gives us some credibility. But how you submit those testimonials is kind of the questions I've been getting to here at corporate.
And you want to be submitting them because obviously that puts you in the contest every week.
Absolutely, that's right. So the way you submit them is if you log into your back office, and you have to do this through your back office. So that means you have to be a TLA to participate in submitting these. You go into your back office. On the left-hand column there's a tab that says Message Center. That's where you can email your team and do things like that. You're going to see a little tab at the bottom that says Submit a Testimonial. So you just go in there. You can actually upload an image. So if you have a picture of your reservation or you have a picture of your receipt or something like that, or your movie tickets that you got.
Right.
You can actually upload an image and then write a little blurb about, your experience. And what we do is we receive it here at corporate. We review them every day, and if they look like they're approvable,
Right.
we approve them, we move them through, and they'll actually pop up on the homepage there, and you'll see them, scrolling through with everyone else's experiences on there. So
yeah, this will be a great tool because again, it's one thing when you tell somebody how wonderful this is, but when people actually see the testimonials and what other people are saying, it just adds a lot, like I said, a lot of credibility.
Big time, yeah. Especially when you're dealing with the travel industry and you're competing with the Expedias and the Pricelines, the other.
Yeah, some people don't believe we can do what we say we're going to do.
So that's what we are for me too, especially that's the product. It really does give the company that much more credibility. So those are up and in place. A little update on our starter kits and our cards that we have, the gold foil cards that are coming out. You guys are really going to like these. We did get an update from our printer. Looks like we're going to have them around mid-month in-house. And then we'll be able to start offering them for purchase and for shipping probably towards the end of the month.
Right. So a lot of you have been waiting for that, and they're going to be beautiful. I've been waiting for them because I think along with some of the marketing gear we're putting together, like with the caps and the T-shirts and buttons and things like that, say unlock the gift. Well, when people see that, and then all of a sudden all you got to do is hand them that card, and that card's going to be really impressive, folks. I mean, really impressive. You put that in somebody's hands, they're going to go take a look at what this is all about. And of cour's when they see it, they should get real excited.
I couldn't throw a card like that away. It's too nice.
It's too nice. Yeah, it really is.
But that's it, really, for the news and updates. We've gotten everything pretty streamlined here, and all we're working on nowadays is campaigns and marketing.
Right, and actually, in the way of marketing, one more announcement I'll make on news and updates is actually on the week of the 20th, I'm actually taking a little mini vacation with my family, and I talked to one of our leaders out there, Kenneth Reed. Most of you know him. He's going to come on and actually host that call for me on the 20th of September on Thursday. But what we're going to do, which is kind of unique, it's going to be nothing but testimonials. Everybody's going to be on the call is going to be there to deliver a testimonial, either about the product or about what they've seen with Travel 10 and the compensation and what they believe the opportunity is. So that'll be a great call. So look forward to that on the 20th. I want to start promoting it now, and Key is excited, and he'll be here to host it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Get ready for that one.
So is that really
that's it? That's your weekend update.
All right, yeah, that's good, man. So I guess now you're going to leave it in my hands.
I think you can handle this one.
All right, folks. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it. All right, get out of here. Okay, so let's continue. Second part of our presentation tonight is a little bit of training before I get to the contest, and then I'll do the drawing for the contest. So what I want to talk about tonight in the training segment is a little bit about the 5 different ways that you actually make an income here. I think people will look at this, well, is it just one way because I have the compensation plan? But actually, no. There's many ways that you can make money here. And the number one way, and let's bring up the screen here. Let me get it up. Let's do this. Hold on. Get this in play. All right, let's do this. Okay, the first way that, of course, everybody can earn an income is through the VIP Travel Saver card. So when somebody goes and you've handed them the gift and they've gone and looked at the presentation and the story, they're going to make a decision at the end. Well, one of their choices, if they decide they're not going to become a TLA and get involved in the business, or they decide not to become a customer, the third option, which everybody's going to take if they're not doing the other two, is take the Travel Saver card, because the Travel Saver card is going to save them at least $1,000 in hotels and resort savings sometime over the next few years. Maybe they'll do it all in 1 or 2 states. Who knows? But the great thing about this is when somebody chooses that option, you're still making money. And you all know how it works. They save $1,000. What do you make? You make $500. Here we're just showing a little example here. It shows, for example, a 1 week, that's a 1 week stay in Italy. Obviously, the savings was $590. And so think about that. That person, saved $590, almost $600. What did you make? Almost $300. So that's pretty nice. So again, that's the number one way. Number 2 way that you make money here at Travel 10 is through retail credits. In other words, again, remember when a person goes and they watch the video and the story about the gift and they're making a decision, again, they have 3 choices. If they don't choose the VIP Travel Saver card and they don't choose to become a TLA, there are other choices to become a customer. And we're seeing a lot of that. People are just saying, you know what, for $10 a month, the savings, I can go out and save thousands of dollars over the course of a year. Why wouldn't I want to spend $10 a month to save thousands? So the way the retail credits work is every 10 customers you have, you earn 10 retail credits. So what we've done, we've set this up in such a way that we want to really eventually make your product free and your business free. So you get 10 retail credits. Now your subscription's free every month. You get 20 retail credits. Now you get your subscription free and your business is free. So you've got no cost in it. And then after that, you still generate additional customers every 10. You get another 10 retail credits that you can use as real money to purchase things that we're doing. It could be travel that we're going to have. It could be marketing tools that you want to purchase. However you want to use that money, you can use it. So that's the second way. Now, the third way is what, of course, is the reason that everybody is joining and getting involved in Travel 10, the real compensation. Because as you start to put in TLAs and they start building their customer base and they're putting in other TLAs and they're building their customer base, this is where the real money comes in. And again, when you're looking at this compensation, folks, remember, this is only based on 2 customers. Everybody having themselves as a customer and 1 customer, or if they're not a customer because it came from Good Life, they have 2 customers. But that's all it's based on, is 2 customers. And look at the kind of income that can generate from 10 getting 10 getting 10. And folks, when you look at what's been happening out there, and I see people, and again, I got to slow down and just make sure everybody gets this. When I see people in the first 2 to 3 weeks of this business, of being enrolled, literally putting in not just 5 or 10 people, but putting in 20, 30, 40, 50 personally, I know this is something really different because that just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen that you can put in that many people that easily. So I know as we start to gain momentum and gain the excitement and everybody realizes what they've got in their hands and they start sharing the gift. And when I say share it, you're really just giving it. When you start giving the gift away, you're going to be signing up one TLA after another, one customer after another, one VIP travel saver after another. No matter what direction they go in, you're going to be making money, you're going to be winning, and it's going to be growing. And you've got this unbelievable compensation plan that's designed to say, look, we believe everybody out there could put in at least 10. I think you could put in 50 or 100 if you wanted to, but everybody can do this if they just give it away. That's all you have to do. I got to tell you, just today alone, I talked with 3 different people. They're all joining. And I basically have always taken the same approach. I said, look, just look at the video and decide what's best for you. You know, I don't care what you decide. I really don't care what decision you make, whether you become a TLA, you just want to become a customer, that's great. Or you just say, give me the free card. It makes no difference to me. It makes a lot of difference to that person, but it doesn't make any difference to me because I'm just going to keep giving the gift away and let the persons make the decision. And guess what? Before long, you're going to have 5 TLAs personally, or 10 or 20 or 30, and then all this starts to happen that you're looking at in this compensation plan. So that's the third way, is the compensation. The fourth way is ranks and awards. This is just fun stuff. This is once you start building and you start getting an organization and you start having these ranks you start getting where you go from diamond to a canary diamond, you see here, to a pink diamond, to eventually a blue, and then finally the top thing is a red diamond. But what it basically does is you start from canary diamond up, is it gives you an additional percentage payout in every line that you have in your organization. So in other words, for example, let's say you were a canary diamond. Instead of getting 10% for those 10 generations, you'd be getting 11%. But here's the beauty of it. It doesn't stop after the 10th generation. Until you run into another canary diamond, you could be getting 100 generations deep at another 1% on every one of those generations. If you get the red diamond, which is the top, you're talking about 4% additional on every person in your entire organization and all their customers. So that means at the first 10 generations, you can be making 14% on every one of those generations. And then from the 11th generation, I don't care again if it goes 1,000 generations deep, you're making 4% on every one of those generations of folks. That is an amazing, amazing amount of income that can be generated from the ranks and awards. And then finally, we're going to be running weekly contests. Actually, we're going to be doing more than weekly, but I just want to show the weekly right now. The weekly is the testimonial contest. We're going to talk about it. We're getting ready to do in just a minute. And the big builder contest we're going to have every week. And that's for the people that have put in more than 2 TLAs during the course of the week. If you've done that, then actually, you're in a position to be entered into that contest. And you see what it is. Right now, we're doing it based on the size of the company. It's a $50 cash prize for the testimonials. It's a $100 cash prize for the, for the person that puts in 2 or more TLAs that wins, gets entered in the contest. And guys, we're going to do this every week. And the amount's going to get bigger and bigger as we get bigger and bigger. And then we're going to add monthly contests. And then we're going to have annual contests. Then we're going to have vacation giveaways. We're going to do all kinds of things here that are fun to reward everybody for being involved in Travel 10. So that's the quick training that I wanted to do tonight. I just wanted to go over, the 5 different ways that you can actually make a tremendous income here. And it is a tremendous income. And you decide how much it's going to be. Nobody's going to determine that for you. That's strictly up to you. So let's take a little break. And before I do the last part, which is creating wealth, which this is a series that I really love because I think it's the keys to really building something and having a real future. But right now, let's stop and have a little fun. So what we're going to do, we're going to do our first drawing. And by the way, you see these nice little boxes here? This is temporary. Kenneth came up with a great idea, and he sent me a picture, and I loved it. I said, you know what? We're going to do that. It's one of those things that's like this, like a roller, one of these big wheels you put like for bingo or something, where it just rolls, and you reach your hand in. So we're getting one of those things so that in the next one, hopefully the next one, the one after that, we'll have this thing so we can you can see everybody's stuff in there, and we can reach in and pull out the winners. But right now, I got to do it. So this is the first one here. And I'm just going to reach in the box here. And look down there. This is the testimonial box, by the way. Okay, guys. So I'm looking away here. I have no idea. I keep moving around. And these are all the people that submitted testimonials over this past week. Okay. All right. Here's the one. All right. What we got here? Let me hold it here and see what we have. Okay. The winner for our testimonial contest, which is obviously $50. So that's Daryl Porter. And his testimonial was he spent $416 on a hotel reservation for Labor Day weekend, and he saved $144.21. And he also earned $469 in reward credits. By the way, I didn't even mention that. That's another thing that happens. Every time you book anything, even if it's airline tickets or cruises or whatever you're booking, every time you book something, you're going to be getting reward credits. So that's a nice thing, too, to get on top of the savings. But that's not bad. So if he saved $144 in that little weekend stay, he basically covered the cost of his membership, for his product membership for the entire year, just in that one stay. So, Daryl, congratulations on being the very first winner on the testimonial contest. We'll be sending you out a check for $50. Now I'm going to take and set that one aside, and we're going to draw for, and we had a lot more of these than we had testimonials. We need to get more testimonials in. But again, we're just getting started. We got a bunch in here. Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. And by the way, as I'm drawing, looking at this, I'm going to draw. I don't want to be looking because it's little slivers. Remember, if you had like 5 TLAs, if you put in 5 TLAs during the course of this past week, then you got 5 entries into this drawing. So obviously, you're just increasing your percentage of winning. All right. Let me see here. All right. I got to get it down to 1 here. Hang on. They're all sticking together. I think we need that little bingo wheel or whatever it is. Put it in. All right, what we got? Okay. All right, I got to be able to read this thing here. Okay, the winner, and it was, oh my gosh, I can read it. Gary Hinton. Oh, Jerry. I guess it's Jerry Hinton. Jerry Hinton. And he actually enrolled somebody, her last name is Hardy. So this was the one that won you, the ticket that won you. You might have had maybe 3 or 4 or 5 entries in here, Jerry, but the one that won it for you was when you enrolled James Hardy. So Jerry Hinton, you're the first winner of the TLA contest. So we'll be sending you out a check for $100. So there's our 2 winners for the night, and we'll be doing that, and we'll get a little fancier inside these boxes going forward. Okay, make it a little more interesting. And then what I'm going to love is when we go down the road here about a year from now. Because I want to make the dollar amounts bigger and bigger. Or maybe what we'll do is we'll just have more and more drawings. We'll let be more and more winners. But the idea is we want to give back. For me in this company, it's going to be about building something that everybody's excited to be a part of. Everybody's succeeding. There are no failures. Think about that. I actually believe with this company, there's not going to be any failures because, again, even when people are telling you no, you're going to win. And that's another thing we're seeing. We're seeing cards being activated like never before because why? The reason is because for the first time, when a person actually goes to the site and looks at it and makes a decision to not do anything but take the card, what are they doing? they're activating it right there on the spot. And we found and proven, that when people activate the card, guess what? They go to the portal, they look at it, they go, oh my gosh, these prices are real, and they use it. So with that, I'm going to conclude with the last part, which is the fun part for me, is creating wealth. And, oh, by the way, one of the things we're going to be doing with this is we're going to actually be taking from these webinars, and we're going to be taking this segment of creating wealth and putting it out there by itself in just short video clips of the various tips that I'm giving over the course of, every one of these weekly webinars. So that eventually we'll have a big library there that hopefully you can go look at and find something that really, for you makes the big difference in taking this thing maybe from just a little part-time business into a full-time income and maybe into something even bigger than that, which is building a retirement income here in the next couple of years, which I believe can be done. So the last thing we're talking about tonight is creating wealth. Tonight, I want to share what I believe is very, very important for anybody to truly, truly become successful in life. And that is, you need to have a visualization board. A lot of people say, what's a visualization board? Well, I can't even say it sometimes. A visualization board is where you put the things that you want in life on a board. You just put it on a board and you put it somewhere where you have to see it every day in and day out. I'm going to tell you right now a little story. My very first board was nothing more than the words millionaire. I mean, when I was coming out of high school, I came from a very poor family, and I was always felt like when I went to college, I went on a kind of a scholarship type thing in criminal justice, but I had probably the worst car in the parking lot. I mean, it had to be the worst car. So obviously, one of my dreams was to be successful in life, and I decided I wanted to be a millionaire. So what I did, my first board was nothing more than I wrote down, I'm going to have $1 million. And I'm going to do it before the age of 25, because I had to set a timeline on it for me. So I said before the age of 25. And I carried that with me, and I always thought about it all the time. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to do it before the age of 25. I will tell you, I did miss it. I was almost 26 when I finally became a millionaire, but I can live with that failure because I got where I wanted to go. And I really believe it only happened because I kept telling myself all the time. And I would tell other people too. You know why I would tell other people? Because I wanted them to laugh at me. I actually wanted those people, when I shared them, to laugh, go, Mark, we know you. You're never going to be a millionaire. It's not going to happen. And I'd say, oh, yes, it is. I'm serious about this. And of course, my buddies and friends would laugh and think it was a big joke. And then, one of my great joys in life is I remember flying back to my own 10-year reunion in high school. And then where all my buddies had always laughed at me from high school because I told them when I was in high school I was going to be a millionaire, right? And they're all laughing, thinking it was such a joke. And I fly back, and I'm in my own private Learjet. And everybody knew I was coming back in my own private Lear. And it was such a great feeling because I go, you know what? I came from nothing, and I was able to do it. And I know that if I can, anybody can. But it happened because, again, I started visualizing at a very, very young age. Now, let me give you an example of what my board looks like today. Okay, that was many years ago. That was in the 70s, all right? My board today is totally different. My board today is a big board. It has all the things, and I'm not going to tell you all those things are, but one thing I will share that's on my board. Now, what's on my board is for this company to be a $1 billion company. And not only have I say it's a $1 billion company, but I've actually got a screenshot of an unbelievable stadium filled with about 40 or 50,000 people. And I look at that and I'm saying, that's Travel 10. That's us down the road a few years in a big stadium, 40 to 50,000 people there. And it's all happening, and we're on the way to becoming a $1 billion company. So I have a board, like I said, and it has everything that I dream of. And I still dream to this day. Everything I can possibly dream of that I want in my life that I don't have is on that board. And there's some pretty big dreams on there. So for you, it does the same thing. You've got to start by creating your own board. And I'm going to leave you with one story here that I got to share because it's not something that I did. It's something someone else did. And some of you might have heard this story. But I think it's just a cool story. I had a friend, and he was really struggling, and he had no money, and he had no income, and he had a car that was probably worse than the car I was talking about that I owned. Matter of fact, he was involved in my business that I started back in the 70s and went to 100 million, but he was struggling like a lot of people when he first started. He wasn't making any money, and his car was so bad, he would park it down the street when he was doing a meeting because he didn't want anybody to see it. So he came to me one day and said, Mark, what do I do? What do I do? And his name is Paul Bacher. And again, if you've heard the story, bear with me for most of you that haven't. So I said, Paul, here's all you do. I said, what do you want? What is it you want right now? And he said, Mark, all I want is a brand new Cadillac. That's what he wanted, a brand new Cadillac. So what did I do? I said, okay, let's go down to the dealership. And I'm giving you the abbreviated story. Went to a dealership, got him a brochure and said, okay, Paul, just keep looking at this until you get the car. Just keep looking at this brochure until one day it's no longer a brochure, but you've actually got that car in your driveway. Well, some time went by. I don't remember, 3 or 4, 5, 6 months. I can't remember exactly. It was a long time ago. And all of a sudden, Paul comes up to my office and says, Mark, I got to show you something. So I said, okay. And he said, come downstairs. I got to show you something. So I go downstairs. Sure enough, down in my parking lot, brand new Cadillac. And I said, cool, Paul, you did it, man. That's great. I love it, man. He said, no. Get in the car. He says, I got to show you something else. I said, no, I really don't want to, Paul. And this is the funny part of the story. He takes me to his house. His house is empty because it's during the day. He walks me into his master bedroom, and I'm looking at him like, Paul, what are we doing? And he says, just please come in. So he takes me to his master bedroom and says, what do you see, Mark? What do you see? And I'm looking around going, I don't see anything, Paul. And he says, look up on the ceiling. Sure enough, I looked up on the ceiling, and that brochure that he and I went and got together was all cut out and pasted up on his ceiling. And he looked at it. He said, Mark, every night when I went to sleep, I had to look at the pictures of that car. Every night, every morning when I got up, I had to look at the pictures of that car. And he said, it worked. He said, I got the car. The end of the story was this. About a year later, and this is the funny part, I'm having a big party at my house. And I had a beautiful home in Jacksonville. It was a gorgeous home. I love that home. And Paul came to the party, and he was there, and he was walking around taking pictures. And I said, Paul, what are you doing, man? Why are you taking pictures? He said, Mark, I really like this house. And I said, really? Well, that's nice. He said, no, you don't understand. He said, I love this house. And he says, I'm taking pictures because you know what I'm going to do, don't you? I said, what are you talking about? He says, well, I'm going to take these pictures, and I'm going to put them, you know where I'm going to put these pictures? And I'm going to own this house. And I started laughing at Paul. I go, Paul, the house is not for sale. You're not going to own the house. I mean, that's a great thing. Why don't you go take pictures of somebody else's house, one that you can go buy, and you know what? I believe you. It's going to happen. He says, no, you don't understand. He says, I'm buying this house. I will buy this house. End of the story is, guess what happened? He bought my house. He bought my house. I would have never believed it. I would never believe it could have possibly happened. But again, he did the same thing. He visualized. He put those pictures where he saw them every night, every morning, and eventually he came back. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He bought my house. So I'm going to close with this. You need, and every person should be doing this thing, you need to build your own board. And I don't know what's going to be on that board. It's whatever you want in life. And you know what? You don't have to start with something that you think is impossible. Start with something that's small when you first start. Maybe it's nothing more than, maybe it's covering a mortgage payment. Maybe it's, buying something for the family. Maybe it's putting, put aside a certain amount of money every month for a college education. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Just start with something. And don't be afraid to dream big, because I've always found you pretty much get in life what you ask for. That's the amazing thing. You get in life what you ask for. So if you ask for something really little, usually you get something very little. So if you want something big, folks, ask for something big. And if you do that, you're going to be shocked at what happens, because my guess is you're going to get what you put on that board. So thank you, and we'll see you next week for another contest. Please get your testimonials in, keep building, and we're going to just keep this contest running for years to come. All right? Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.